Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to make this 3D sub-bell, flying sub-bell that you see on the screen right now in Fusion, and we're going to make a macro at the end. There's also going to be a free preset in the description below, and we're going to use the SVG files for this one. I'm going to leave this picture that I used for a template in the description below so you can use it to follow along. The SVG converter that I use is this one right here, SVG Trace. If you do get it and use it, make sure you slide that simplified curves all the way to the right, or you'll have way too many points and your edge won't be very smooth. Okay, we'll go ahead and get started. On the edit page, go up to Media Pool, right click, New Fusion Composition. You can name it if you'd like, but you don't have to. And go ahead and leave it on 5 seconds. Bring it down to your timeline and go to Fusion. Make my nodes big enough so you guys can see them. Now, once you make your SVG file, to get it, you need to come into Fusion. The very top up here, go to Fusion, Import, SVG. It'll take you straight to them. They'll load up in your downloads. I don't never change the size of them. I figure Resolve knows more about that than I do. Before I ungroup them, I always double click on them and open them because some of these have hundreds of nodes in them. And if there's a lot of nodes, I'll just right click, copy, and paste it from here. That way I can close it back up and delete it rather than spend hours trying to find them all. I'll go ahead and ungroup. Put the first one right viewer 1 so we can see what we're doing here. And just click on each one as you go down. If you have duplicates, go ahead and save them just to be safe. I like to keep these organized. We don't really have to keep both, like I said, but you never know, if you accidentally delete one, then you at least have it. We can delete the rest of this. I have to use this on-screen keyboard because I'm paralyzed, cannot use my hands. I also use a handicap sip and puff controller. You may hear that throughout the video. I do my best to edit it out, but I cannot get it all. Okay, we gotta make 7 S Polygon nodes, so click away right about here. Shift spacebar. And S Polygon. start with this one. Let's put the S Polygon node in viewer 2. Select the SVG node. Highlight everything. Right click at any point. All the way to the bottom. Copy. Select your S Polygon node. Go in viewer 2, right click. Go down the bottom again. And paste. I have to do that with each one of these, so I'll go ahead and do them. I only have to show you on one if you don't already know about them, because I will be fast forwarding through this. Okay, we have to make one more. That's for the outer perimeter. Okay, click away right about here. Shift spacebar. And S merge. Click away down here. Shift spacebar. And S boolean. Make sure you connect these in the order that I am so the inputs are correct. Select the boolean, shift spacebar, and extrude. Put the extrude in viewer 1, and up in the inspector here, we'll go ahead and get that set up. You can set the extrusion however you like, but I'm going to go with 0.08, which is what you've seen at the beginning. Take the extrusion subdivisions all the way to the right. Smoothing angle all the way to the right. I'm going to give it just a little bit of bevel, depth, and width. This is personal preference again. I'm going to go with 0.0031. And you can always play around with them adjustments later. I'm going to connect all these into this merge. And as we put them in, if you look in this viewer 1, you'll see it come together. But as in all SVG, files that I've used are never lined up. So we have to line it up, and it's deformed. It's kind of egg-shaped. So we'll use a S transform. Select the merge node, shift spacebar, and S transform. In the inspector, under the Y size, go 1080 divided by 1920. Now you'll see it's shaped correctly by the looks of it. Go to the extrude node under transform, translation, x-axis, we'll make that minus 0.5. And the y-axis, minus 0.25. Okay, now it's center. Now go to the pivot. X-axis, make that 0.5. And the y-axis, minus 0.25. I'm sorry, that was 0.25, not minus 0.25. And we could animate this with the extrude, but I prefer to use the transform. So shift spacebar. And transform 3D. Then we'll get a 3D render off the toolbar. Bring in media out and connect the render into the media out. And put that in viewer 2. Should be looking at what I am right now. On the Boolean, we just left it on the intersection. If you change it to subtract, you'll have that. Which we don't want that. Okay, let's add some chrome to this. Go up here under effects. Go to templates. Fusion. Shaders. Connect the Chrome node directly into the extrude green input. You don't need to have a replace material node down from the extrude. You can connect it right to it. We'll select the transform node. We're going to use under rotation the X, Y, and Z, and under translation we're going to use the Z. We'll start with the X, right click, go to modify width, anim curves. Same thing with the next two. We will do the Z-axis in translation in a few minutes here. Now if you go up here, you'll see we have a modifier now. Select it. We have 3 of them. On the Z, type in 720. Go up to the Y and type in 1080, which would be 1.08. Then go up to the last one, the X, and under scale again, type in 720. We'll scrub the timeline, make sure we have the right animation. Looks good to me. Now we'll go back to Tools, right click the Z-axis under Translation, modify width, anim curves. Now we'll modifier here. But make sure you have the right one. You want the Z offset. And we're on that one now. Select mirror. And invert. Under scale, put in -30. Now you should have your bell back. We'll give it a play and see if that's what we want. If you want it larger or smaller than what it is when you put your playhead in the center of your 5 seconds, whatever frame rate you're at, just put it in the middle. You can use this scale here. And we can put that in a macro if we want to. Make sure we have what we want before we go any farther. Okay, we'll go ahead and make a macro. Select the render node. In the inspector, under render type, change it from software to hardware. That way it'll render out a little faster. Okay, make sure you don't get any of the SVG nodes in here or the media out, everything in between. Highlight them all, right click any one of them. Create a macro. Create macro. And give it a name. I'm just gonna overwrite one I have in there. Go to File. Save as group. You don't want to take it to macros, but don't do that. Go to Fusion. Templates. Edit. Titles. Right here, if you don't have your own folder made, you can make one right here. I already have one. Save it. Close out the macro. go to the edit page, we'll find it. This is it. We'll put a generator under it. If you click on it, go to the inspector under settings. You can move it around, put it where you want. Well, there you go. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.